Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Den on this snowy, rather chilly Wednesday morning. I thought I would take a quick little video to get the show started. And there's Bindi in her favourite seat, especially when it's cold. Bind, say hi. Bindi. Bindi. I'm going to have to get her in. As much as she would like to sit there, I don't like her to. So, lots to chat about today. I haven't recorded in 2 weeks. I hope you have your cup of coffee, or your cup of tea, or cocoa, or if you're in a hot climate, a cold drink. Get comfy and let's go sit down. So welcome to everyone, new viewers if you are watching for the first time. My name's Denise and I'm also known as Knitting Den. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram under that name, Knitting Den, all one word. To all returning viewers, friends, welcome back. Yes, I got my coffee. That's what's in my mug, and I have to show you my mug. I have not been to Nevada recently, but a friend has. And isn't it just so colourful? You don't see much of a glare. And no Kit Kat today, guys. I have to tell you about these Jaffa cakes. And my co-host is down here. She came in from the cold. She's rather messy on the front because she keeps eating her, or chewing one of her bones, and it kind of gets sticky, so she needs a little brush later. Hope the lighting is okay, and I hope you enjoyed that little introduction there. It's a little later. I took that probably an hour or so ago, just as I got back from the bus stop with Kristen, and it's just after 8 o'clock. I'm looking at the clock on the wall. So yeah, I haven't recorded in 2 weeks. Did you miss me? I really did miss you guys, but I had a great reason for not recording last week. I did really want to record last Tuesday before I left for the Sock Bunny knitting retreat in Florida, but as usual, got a little busy trying to plan and not just pack for me and plan my trip, but to make sure that I could do as much as possible to make life easy for hubby and Kiki while I was gone. So I did not get a chance, as much as I would have liked to. Now, I hope the lighting is okay. It looks a little wishy-washy on what I'm looking at, but that's probably because of the windows open behind me. Look at this thing. And there's the sunshine. Look at this. Talk about a pampered pooch. My goodness. Are you comfortable there? Are you rather comfy? I can't pet you the whole time. I'm going to need 2 hands soon, so. Alright, back up at you. I may have to stop the camera and go close the curtain behind me because the sun is starting to come up and through the windows. So hold on, I'll be right back, guys. Hopefully that looks a little better and not a lot of glare. I'm just finishing off, as I said, a Jaffa cake. So if you have a Kit Kat or some other kind of bicky, which we call biscuits, have a little nibble. Get your cuppa ready. I'm going to be leaning. I am surrounded in goodies to show you today. These are Jaffa cakes. They're from England. McVitie's is who makes them. And had a wonderful friend send me some. Just they were waiting for me when I arrived back from Florida. You going to sit down? Oh, I kicked the camera. If you've never had a Jaffa cake, I'll tell you what the closest thing here is, and if you'd like to try it, it's the next best thing. In my supermarket, or quite a few supermarkets I've been in, even in Texas, in the cookie aisle, have a look for a box. It's like a dark brown. Now she wants to go out. And they're called Pims. I think Pims, not double M as in the drink back in England. It's like a soft cake base with a little bit of orange, like jelly but firmer, jam back home, and the top was covered in chocolate. And once I've had one, I cannot stop, and I end up eating 3 or 4. To be honest, that's only half the box because there's not that many in there. But if you're interested and you like chocolate and orange, look out for Pims in your supermarket. And again, I'm going to have to stop this because Bindi wants out. What was I saying about I can't just eat one? I've let Bindi sit out there on the cushion, so. Coffee in my mug. I'll put things down for, a couple of minutes. Welcome if you've just joined the Ravelry group. Thank you for doing that. Still waiting to get to that 1,000 members because I've got a wonderful giveaway for you all. I do want to say welcome to those that have left an introduction since I've been gone in the Ravelry group. To CJ240, who is Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. And she's in Canada. Knit by the Bug, who is Bonnie. And she's in Massachusetts. And hello to your 2 fur babies. I don't know their names. Bindi wanted to say hi. And it's a mini dachshund. Is that how you say that? Or dachshund. And a mini pin. Hi, fur babies. RTN1946. And that is Roylene. But also Tammy. If it's just one M, is that Tammy or Tammy? I'm saying Tammy. And you're in Ohio, so hi Tammy. And Flo, I don't know how you pronounce this one. It looks like Flogig Knits, but I know your name's Florence, so it might be Flo G-I-G Knits. Sometimes you just can't tell with Ravelry names. But hello Florence in upstate New York. And Rista1313, who many of you might already know, who is Susan, the lovely designer of the Girl Cave bags. I got it wrong, like Daniela, sorry. Girl Cave bags. Thank you for finally joining the group, Susan. And Fairy Little, who is Marsha, and she's in Canada as well. She's got a new podcast out, if you haven't seen it already. It is with her sister, and it's called Twitch and Stitch. You can find them on YouTube. So, I think that was everyone. Welcome to everyone else. If you didn't leave a message, but you would like to, go into the welcome thread, say hi, tell me a little bit about yourself, and I shall shout hi back at you. I'm going to pick up my coffee before it gets cold. All right, before we get started on the knitting, the week before, and here is Mr. Boo Boo, Mr. Boo How, coming to join us. And he's had a drink, so his mouth is soaking. He can't get to me, you'll have to just go up there. Last week, I had issues. He's going to try and come up. Are you coming up to see me? While Bindi's not here. Come here, do you want to come up? Come on, come on. Here he comes, Mr. Boo How. Boo How is his full name. And he goes by Mr. Boo, Mr. Missy Moo, Mr. Moo, and Boo Boo Kitty, and everything else in between. But you're soaking, you've had a drink, yuck. You want to say hi to everybody while Bindi's outside? Do you want to get all the attention? Yes, you do. You just want food, I know. Look at that waggy tail. Where's that waggy tail? Thank you. I do not have anything for you. You've been fed. You've been fed, and if you stay here any longer, I might have to cut this short, because you'll be boring people. Yeah. All right. Let me get back to this. I do not have a cookie for you, Boo. Oh, yeah, so I hope you're sitting comfortable, because this might be a long one. Last week, no, I said this already, the week before, the last time I recorded, there were some issues with the uploaded video to YouTube. Some of you could not see it. I do not understand why this happened. I did play a Donny Osmond song, but it was not downloaded. It was not downloaded and added to the video, I should say. So I didn't think, you know, who knows what I'm playing. It was just a song in the background. I don't know. Technology is marvellous these days because somebody somehow knew I was playing a, I guess, copyrighted song. And in some countries they won't allow that, so some of you couldn't see it. I'm happy to say, don't you dare bark. No. I'm happy to say I did kind of resave the video. I chopped off the beginning, so sorry if you didn't see it. It was just Donny Osmond's Puppy Love playing in the beginning, and you could see Bindi and Boo, and I was kind of singing along to it. Boo, please don't. Or I'll have to move you. This is what puppies do to the back of your sofa. But I don't care. I like my sofas to be comfy and cosy, even for my puppies. I did get it uploaded again to YouTube. He doesn't bark loud. Well, he does when he gets started, but he'll do this quite often, just a little grunt. I was going to say, the last time I recorded, I did mention that I might not be using iTunes for much longer because I did not want to renew my subscription to Podcast Garden. Honestly, I think that site is just a waste of space. But unfortunately, I got an email from PayPal saying that Podcast Garden had automatically taken my next year's the renewal subscription. And that's okay. I would have just said, okay, it's being paid, I'll cancel from now on and I'll just use it for the next year. But when I did try to upload the video through Podcast Garden, it told me I need to upgrade my account so that I can upload more than one video per month. I have upgraded the account and you took money again from me. And so, what do? You contact Podcast Garden and what happens? Nothing. They never get back to you. I went away for a week, so I didn't get a chance to, you get that automatic reply saying we will get in touch with you about your problem or your comment or concern or whatever. Nothing. So I'm going to have to comment again or send another message to them because it's irritating. They've got my money and they're not letting me upload videos. Totally a waste of space. So if you're ever thinking about Podcast Garden, I'm sorry, you're not getting any recommendations from me for it. But anyway, that's all right. Hopefully, I'll have no problems with this week's episode. It may be long. I hope it doesn't alter the quality. The longer the video, it seems like, YouTube doesn't look as great. I don't know, sometimes. Okay, so what are we going to chat about today? I've made a list of stuff, and so instead of, like I mentioned before, putting the titles along the bottom when I get to those segments, I'm just going to transition into one after the other. But I thought I would list things that I'm going to chat about because it's not going to always be the same sections. I mean, normally, for instance, I do not have spinning. But this week, I'm going to talk about or chat about finished objects, works in progress, knit-alongs, crochet, not a brand new section. I mean, it's just going to be when I have something to talk about it. Don't get too excited, crocheters out there. I have lots of show and tell, book talk, and then in girly chatter, I'm going to go talk about the retreat in Florida and some of my favourite things. I've got a couple of things I'd like to chat about, so I've called them my favourite things. So, let's get started, and yes, I have a finished object. And my coffee's nice and hot because while I was putting Bindi out there, I was sitting her on that cushion, I heated it up. Try not to chop off my head. Alright, so I did not bring the other book. Last time I recorded, I'd started a hat out of a Barocco book. It's not this one. It is a new book, and it was for the Oh, Fiaro. Fiaro? I forgot the name of the yarn now. And as often happens, I do not have the bag that this object was in, so then I lose the label. And here she comes again, she wants in. Okay, Fiora is the yarn, I think, from Berocco. It was new, and because I can't find the label, I can't tell you what the content is, the yarn content. Oh, dear me. Never mind. I got the hat finished. It's called Elsa. The hat was called Elsa, and here it is. Really, really pretty pattern. Very teeny tiny cable here, which is just a one stitch cable. Lace down here, and not garter stitch. Just a row on either side of stockinette stitch. Now, you see this? This is one of the stockinette stitches. Then you have a cable. Am I showing it back to front? Yeah, let me see. This is what I think is the craziest thing. This is a nice row of stocking stitch, one stitch. This is the other row, which just looks, can you see this? This is my other row of stockinette stitch, and I don't know how, but it just looks such a mess. Like big, you know, a big hole and three nice ones, and then it's a big hole. And I don't know what happened. I mean, you can't really tell from there. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but don't you dare bark either, Missy. Hey, here they go. I'll probably have to turn this off again. Stop it. All right, I'm going to try it on, and messy hair, dear. So maybe I should probably keep this on. So I put it on like this. I've blocked this. And you know how I am with hats, guys. I don't think it suits me as much as I would like it to. But let me tip that up a bit so I can sit up and show you. The cable comes all the way down here. This is the rib, but you continue with the cable, so it looks really pretty. It's done with a smaller needle, so you might see a tiny little bit of difference in the size. I've blocked it, so it has quite a drape, a droopy, or a droop as I would call that. Okay, so noisy dogs have shut up and I've still got the hat on. As I said, it's got quite a droop. Doesn't that look silly? I think it stretched a little when I blocked it. I didn't pin it out or anything, I just soaked it because I wanted to relax, you know, the fibres, and I just squeezed it out gently, wrapped it in a towel to squeeze out, and I just lay it flat. I did not stretch it out, pin it out, or anything. I think the stitch, you can see the lace pattern well enough, so I didn't want to stretch it because I think it would have ended up huge. So I did somewhere, hold on, here it is. This is what I have left. I think I weighed this just to see what else I could knit with it. And I think there was about 30, I'm not sure if there was 30 grams and I don't know what the skein of yarn was originally, so there'll be some, hopefully, information on my project page when I get it in there. So what do you think? Do you like it? I do like it. The only thing when I wear hats, okay, I'm getting a bit hot, so I'm going to take off my hitchhiker. And then, yeah, hold on. Gosh, sorry. I might take that off in a minute too. I don't wear hats very often, only if it's really cold. So when it's in the house, I definitely can't wear a hat because it's just too warm for me. So I'll take that off, but that is my finished object. It's called Elsa. It's from the Berocco Fiero, I want to say Fiero, is the yarn. check my Ravelry page if you just want to, or search Elsa, it'll tell you what the yarn is. And I think this colourway was called Tie Bee, which is like a nice deep, just dark grey, not a light grey. I really like it. I might leave it on for a few seconds, who knows. So let's jump into works in progress then. Now I'm going to take it off. Let's see. And the glasses go back on. That's all right. I feel a bit better now. I feel a bit lighter. Works in progress. Now, when you go to a knitting retreat, you may well know, or you may not know, but you actually don't get a lot of knitting done. So, and again, messing with the, oh, I should, look, you can see my little boo-boo. I'll keep him in the picture. So let's find what I was working on while I was down at the retreat. I had, where's the other one? I just grabbed a ton of stuff and I don't know where I've put it now. Excuse me. Well, oh, here it is. I did work on some plain socks. I had these, I took these on the airplane. Had no problem getting through security and that with you know, the needles like this in my bag. So this was just easy knitting. I'm doing a toe-up sock. This is my Dancing Dog Dye Works sock yarn. And guess what? I can't find the label for this either. Was somebody just slapped my wrists? And I forgot if this is Pumpkin Patch, Michelle's two-stripe, and as you can see, a brown stripe and then a variegated. It's gorgeous yarn, gorgeous colours. I'm using my Addi Turbo or sock rockets, and these are slightly bigger than a size 1, which is making the sock slightly bigger, but I wanted to use the needles anyway. If it's a little big on me, that's fine. I'd rather them be like that than too tight. I don't think they'll be big enough for hubby. I've only got, what do I have on here? I think I've put 60 again, not 64. I've done 60 stitches, so they are for me. And if they're a bit loose, that's fine, because I generally just wear them around bedtime. So I worked on them, you know, when I wanted something easy. I worked on my Lawrence sweater, but I'll get to that in a minute in knit-alongs as well. I cast on another pair of socks. I can't believe it, but I've got 3 pairs of socks on the needles now. Not intentionally, but that's just ended up like that. I bought some wands down at the local yarn store in Florida, so I could cast these on. I really wish I had bought some kind of metal needles. These are the Knitter's Pride Dreams, which I love. I've got the interchangeables, and I've got some that are, you know, just the circular. I buy extras. But I've never bought these in a size 1, and to be honest, I'm a bit nervous. They just seem very flimsy. Probably no more so than a Clover Bamboo, which I used to love using when I did DPNs. So I'm sure it'll be okay. Just in hindsight, I wish I'd maybe picked up the Knitter's Pride Nova. I don't think she had any Addi Turbo ones anyway. I didn't want to get them again because their size 1s are tad too big. I would have had to look for a 0, but I don't think she had. I think she was phasing out the turbos, and so there was some larger sizes left. Anyway, I cast on this blurry, this top down now, 2x2 rib, 64 stitches because I'm using it as a 1. No, I'm not using a 1, sorry. I did go for a 0. That's why they feel flimsy. And that's why instead of 60, I put 64 on. And I used, the reason I cast these on was because, I can never get that, maybe it's supposed to go like that to get it off there. There you go, it's out of the way now. Sam, who was at the retreat, and she's the host of the Knit Run Dig podcast, came all the way from London again. She was there last year. It was so good to see her. She was showing us how to do the, it's German twisted cast on, I think that's what Sam said. I have actually done this before, but it was a nice reminder. She was showing some others, and it's because it's very, very stretchy for socks. It's great for socks, hats. There's YouTube videos on it if you haven't. I'm going to turn that around now in case it's too much glare. There is YouTube videos if you want to kind of look at that and see. It's really quite simple to do. It's kind of like it's normal cast on, but there's an added twist because it's called the German twisted cast on. There is a little twist to it. So that's second pair of second pair of socks on the needles, and already lost it again. Oh, it's on this side. And the reason I cast them on because I wanted to do the cast on with everyone, but this was in this is Croy Patton's Croy sock, and I've never seen that many colours in my Michaels or Hobby Lobby. Tend to only have like a grey and the bluey kind of colour. I don't think I've seen this in my Michaels and so this was actually in a scrap bin that Kimberly Sock Bunny brought, and it was a whole skein, so I asked if it was okay, and I thought I would try and get a nice little pair of ankle socks out of them because I just loved the colour. So that gave me something else to cast on. So I didn't do much, as you can see, but that's another pair of socks. And I did not work on these, and I did not take them, but these are a work in progress, and I do want to get on and get some work done on them. This is what happens when you pull out 2 at a time socks. They get kind of tangled. These are my Hermione everyday socks in a Barocco folio. And they feel so nice. I mean, they're so soft, it looks like a pair of cashmere socks. Every time I see this kind of new natural colour, and it's kind of, has a nice little halo, I think of cashmere. So I'm doing 2 at a time on folio. I would like to start getting some of this done too. I'm very inspired. When I was with, sitting with everyone around the table at the retreat, and they're all either some knitting on socks or they're wearing their lovely socks, I was so inspired to just, I don't know, I just want to make more socks. I'm not normally a sock girl. I'm very slow with socks, and I kind of get bored. So that was the folio, and it is, should we have a laugh? Yeah. And if you're drinking, you can have a drink. We played a drinking game a few times too. Every time Denise said alpaca, everybody had to take a drink. So there's a 65% superfine alpaca and a 35% rayon. Yeah, we had a few drinking games depending on what Denise was saying for the day. All right, so that's socks. I've got quite a few. I need to do a little bit on each one of them. And I'm going to grab my last bite of Jaffa cake. I've got one more work in progress before. The next thing is a work in progress, but it's with the cow. So, the last time I recorded, I showed you some new yarn, again Barocco. And this is Barocco Indigo. It's like a cotton, it's a recycled cotton. Recycled denim cotton, and I did, hold on, not much, but I did cast on and get started with the rib, the base. Now, I think I said, unless I was telling everyone at the retreat, I cast on with the size 7, which is recommended. I did not check the gauge. It looked a little loose, so I went down to a 6. Still felt like it was going to be loose, so I took it off the needles, and this thing was like this wide. So, wound it all back around, cast on again. I'm not sure if it was just before I left. And I'm using size 5s now. These are my carbons. And all I've done is about an inch, just slightly more, of the rib, and then I think I've done one row of the pattern. Let me show you it. I did bring that book. It is in the new Morocco book. And I think before I go any further, I think I'm going to put this on waste yarn. I'm chopping my head off. I'm going to put it on waste yarn and just make sure, because this is my gauge swatch. I'm classing this as a gauge swatch. And I'll put it on waste yarn and see how wide it is. So, this is what I want to knit, and then again, I really would like to, well, who doesn't want to get things off the needles really quickly? So it's called Milkweed. The yarn is indigo, and I did see, here it is. Wow, look at that, she's got a label. This is another new one from Berroco, 95% cotton, 5% other fibres, whatever they are, and it's recycled denim and cotton. So this colour is called Monroe, the pink I'm using. The front, I think I'm getting hairs all over, is just plain. There's no lacy pattern, and it's a V-neck. And if you weren't watching the last podcast, I did mention that Berroco's website, or if you go through Ravelry and you look at these, Berroco indigo, you'll see the patterns that's in this book. It's kind of silly because it doesn't give you any other view. I cannot see a front view in this book of this pattern. But if you go on their website or through Ravelry and you click on their link to Berroco.com, they actually have little videos to show you a 360 view. And the girl actually comes walking into camera. She's on the beach where you can see, they've took the video actually where they've been photographing. And she'll do a little twirl and you can see the front and the back. And they do that with all the patterns. I think in this one and the other book I got, which was the Fiora, I'm not sure if they do that on every pattern or if they've just started doing it and these are the two latest books. Who knows? But that's all I got done. It doesn't look as big now, but I'm sure if I put that on waste yarn, it's going to be the right kind of size. So that was a work in progress. I'm going backwards and forwards. I don't know what bag to put them in. I think the label's in my little Lorax bag, so I'll put that there for now. Okay, more coffee because it is getting cold now. The coffee. All right, I'll have to heat that up later. Really, really cold. Moving on. What else have I got? All right, so hair's bugging me. The knit along. Let's go into knit along, and this was one of the main projects I wanted to work on. Started out really well. Knit on this most of the first day down at the retreat. It is my Lawrence sweater, which is a knit along going on right now in the Knitting Den podcast, in the group, and Apple Blossom and You with Sarah and Matt podcast. And I think Tracy has already finished hers and blocked it. Show off. And I'll show you how far I've got it. And if you haven't seen it before, I've just got a black and white picture here. Short sleeves, very big cowl, rolling neck. Garter stitch with a pattern down the front and down the back. And I thought I loved garter stitch. Now I think I'm changing my mind. Because it's just so slow to grow. So here it is. And actually, you think you've done a lot. Honestly, I worked on this quite a lot that first year. I did move the doohickey here, and that's all I did. It just grows so slowly. So I do need to get on with that. I'm starting to do increases. So here's the cowl neck, the pattern on this side, and the pattern on the back. You decrease about a few times. It's a pattern, I won't tell you how many. You do decrease a little, and then after a few rows you start increasing. So I've got a few increases to go. And again, need to pick that up. Haven't worked on that in the past few days either. In fact, I don't think I worked on it at the retreat after that first day. The pattern, again, Lawrence. I don't have it up. I can't remember who the designer is. I'm using Barocco again. Can you tell I love Barocco yarn? Barocco vintage. It's their worsted in a beautiful colour, Forget-Me-Not. That's kind of a little brighter. I think it's more subdued. I don't know, people do that, but to me it looks the same colour as there. So slightly not as blue as that, a little bit softer. I kind of want to say a cornflower, but not as soft as that. In betweeny. And anyway, I've got that in my lovely big sweater bag, and I have to start trying to pick that up. The knit along ends end of February, so I don't have long, and I'm not sure. I'm not going to stress out. I'm not sure if I'll get it done by then. We'll try my best. If you're joining in, thank you for joining in. And I do have. When shall I show them? I've got a couple of prizes now that I'm going to use for the giveaway, because I'm just not getting time to sew bags. I do have some bags I need to sew, the committed ones, so I don't have time to sew other bags, to be honest, for prizes. So the stuff I've got, 2 prizes right now, are absolutely fabulous, and I can't thank these girls enough for donating them. And they are from the retreat. I guess I might as well show you now, if I can find the other stuff. And it's not that. I have oh, here it is. Okay. So down at the retreat, there was 2 vendors, the same girls as last year. Mine is Sock Bunny. Kimberly wasn't, she's not been dyeing yarn for quite a few months. But Christine from Rainstorm Studios has bags on Etsy. And Jen, who is Daisy Knits on Etsy, dyes absolutely gorgeous yarn. And these 2 lovely ladies, after we've gone crazy and, shopped with them, they did this last year, they asked us, those that podcast really, take an extra bag or extra skein of yarn for your podcast and give them away to your viewers. Huge, huge thank you, because I'm going to give these away for the Cal. And I picked this one for you. Kind of neutral. There were some gorgeous ones there. I didn't want to pick flowers because some of you might not like flowers. Definitely didn't want to pick pink because most people either hate it or love it, kind of thing. This is a lovely paisley. It's like an aqua colour with light browns and taupes, and it's the fabulous see-through bag. This is a large window bag. And that's going to be one prize. And talk about matchy. This is the gorgeous skein of yarn. Again, a lot bluer than it is. It's more aqua coloured. I don't know if that will change if I move around, depending on where the light is. And I think that's probably the best. There, that's quite a little bit truer to colour, more aqua than... There is some darker bits. And can you see it's got sparkles? A tiny little bit on my camera. This is gorgeous. And this is Dewy Sock is her base. It is fingering, and it's 75% merino, 20% nylon, and the 5% stellina, 438 yards. So that's going to be a prize as well. I'm going to try, I must do this, link to the girls' web Etsy shops, and so you can go over and take a look. I'm not sure if they've got much in their Etsy store right now, because the girls are planning for ZK, Zombie Knit Apocalypse. That's in June. And I have to tell you, if you're headed to that retreat, those 2 girls are going to be there, and you should... Oh my gosh, you should see what they're designing. They are doing yarn and bag combinations, and we saw some of them at the retreat that they're working on. Jen and Christine were brainstorming and plotting and doing all of this fun stuff, and the bags and yarn were just absolutely gorgeous. Coordinating colours. I mean, these 2 girls are putting their heads together and coming up with a fabulous combination. So they'll be at the retreat, ZK, but you girls that decided to join in with our first knit along of the year, and probably the only one for quite a few months in the Knitting Den group, I'm going to give these prizes away. I'm going to draw a winner at the end of February. So if you want a chance to win one of them and you haven't started a Lauren Sweaty yet, you might have to knit very, very fast because it's taking what I think is forever. Okay, let's move on. So that is the knit-along news. I have not had a chance to join in any other fun knit-alongs so far. I have not put on a tea cosy on the needles, which I want to do with Tilly Trout and her fabulous group, Trout Mail. And I have not knit anything tiny just yet for little bobbins and little yellow ukes. Little along, they have a fun knit along going on, or crochet or whatever, of little things, because of little, you know, they've both got little in their group names, or RAV names, and so everyone's doing tiny little projects, or doesn't have to be a small project, it could be little needles, like a little size, you know, maybe, I don't know, I'd have to check with them, perhaps using smallest size needle you can get, the zeros, that might, if I ever get them finished, I might be able to enter those if it's socks, but they're on teeny tiny needles. Not sure, but you can check out their groups and see what they're saying about that. I think that's everything with the knit along. I don't think I brought, did not. So I'm going to have a fibre giveaway. I was going to make it a prize with the knit along, but I've decided that I'll just do it as a just because prize. I'm going to open a thread in the group, and the fibre was donated a few months ago from Deb of Fondant Fibre in the UK. I'll show a picture in the group. I didn't bring it down with me, but she donated that a few months ago, and I wasn't sure what I was going to give it away with, but I'm going to just do its own little giveaway. If you're not a spinner and you don't care to win fibre, then you don't need to enter. If you do want to win it because you know somebody who spins and you would like to gift it to them if you win, then there's no exclusions. Just leave a comment. I might ask a question, I'm not sure yet, but check out the group after today. And it's going to be a really quick giveaway because I'm going to draw a winner next week, because I think that's not the end of the month, so we might have another week or two before I do the other drawing for the cow. And with that, let's move into some crochet. Okay, and lean forward again. Down at the retreat, I did keep trying crochet, and I'm doing okay. I can do a granny square now. I know it off by heart. So I started on a granny square. Excuse me, guys. That it's going to be, this is going to be my sock blanket. Oh, it's going to be sock weight yarn. It's not going to be all of my sock yarn because I've already started using donated yarn from friends in the retreat. So here's my progress. I'm kind of excited about this. I've took the needle out, the crochet hook out, so there's a big loop on there. Are you ready? Look! I made a square. It's kind of big. It's going to get bigger and bigger. Again, shape-wise, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's if I lie it flat, it's kind of doing that. Again, don't know why, and I don't really care. I'm a very newbie crocheter, so it's not going to be absolutely perfect. But I started off before the yellow. That's the square I did with some yarn that was in, again, the Sock Bunny box for, that she brought, which was sock yarn for anybody else doing blankets and that. And I've gone kind of hot. Hold on. So I started off with that, and then Dale, who was at the retreat, she doesn't have a podcast, it's just our friend Dale. Dale Girl on no, Girl Deal on Ravelry, she passed over some pretty yellow yarn that she'd just finished a pair of socks with, and I want to say it was Daisy Knits yarn, I think. So I did the yellow. It was just a little bit of yarn, so I stopped after 2 rounds. And then Christine at the retreat, Rainstorm Studios, she passed me some yarn. I think I got 2 little samples. This one, I can't remember what she said it was, but even if she tells me, I'm not going to remember, and I'm not writing down everything I put in this blanket. I just know, as and when I'm knitting it, crocheting it, I know where the yarn come from and who it's from. So I've started, and as you can see, I've done like 3, I'm just on the 3rd, I think I'm on the 3rd round of that colour, after the yellow. It's very light. I kept saying to Kimberly, it feels really light, and you know, it's kind of, I mean, crochet granny squares are quite holy, but Kimberly assures me that it will get heavier. Now, I'm undecided. This might end up, because I get impatient, and I don't know if I want to be knitting, crocheting. I don't know if I want my blanket to be this big granny square, or if I want to carry on crocheting, I might do a less holy blanket, if that makes sense. So I'm liking this, and I'm wondering whether I should get to a pillow size and, you know, cover a pillow, and then I can have it on the sofa or the bed. I like that idea too. So then it's going to be a finished object a lot sooner than a blanket. I'm not sure. But I am enjoying it. I do like picking it up because I'm getting the hang of, I mean, as I said, I'm not perfect, but I'm getting the hang of the crochet. So I'll do that at least to a pillow size and see how I feel when I get to that stage. All right. Are you ready for this? Show and tell, or lots of show and tell. Oh, before I get to that, look what I did yesterday, because I was trying to practice. There's some tutorials online, Valentine's Day is coming up, and I tried a tiny little heart. And they look kind of cute. I've got to stitch these in. I might try, there's other patterns, so I might try other patterns, or I might just follow this one. They're just free tutorials that I found on YouTube. I might make a few more of these because it's Valentine's Day. I have seen some fun things you can do with them. One I just saw recently, and I don't know if they just glued it on the back, but you can kind of add a paper clip to it, you know, and just use it as a pretty paper clip. Or I guess you could use them for little barrettes or slides, as we just call them in England, a little hair slide. So I did that. I liked that. It was fun. Okay, so if you just forgive me for jumping up and down, yo-yo, I thought I would show you, if I can get it out. Oh, here we go. First of all, I'm going to show you what I bought at the retreat. One being the yarn from Daisy Knits, as she was vending. And then we had a trip to the local yarn store on the Sunday, one of the last days. I stayed there till the Monday. Some of the girls were leaving Sunday. So after breakfast at Cracker Barrel, I went to the local yarn store, and I just had, you can't go to a local yarn store and not buy yarn. So let me grab the other one. And I thought I bought 3. Let me think. Here it is. Okay. So these are my purchases, and I'll show you a little bit more closer in a minute. They kind of all look similar colours. I loved the colour of this. It reminds me of watermelon because of the little black nups. They look like the seeds. I don't know if it's going to remind me of watermelon once I've knit with it, because it's obviously going to be a variegated yarn, but it's gorgeous. Sometimes when you find colourways you like, couldn't you just stare at them all day? This is by Knit One Crochet Two. First time ever using their yarn or buying their yarn. I've heard of them. And it's Kettle Tweed Oh yeah, 60% merino wool, 20% baby llama, 10% bamboo and 10% Donegal. Rather a bit of a combination there. 437 yards, 100 grams. The colour is just a number, colour number 4260. You're trying to get down, Boo. You're stuck now, aren't you? Hold on. Do you want to get down? Go on then. Go on. You can get down here. There you go. Off. You're going to fall. So yeah, that was one which I liked. And the trouble with when you buy yarn that you really, really like, you want to cast on something straight away, but generally you don't get the chance to. You're busy working on whips, and that's how it ends up in your stash. And I still have yarn in my stash that I bought last year at the retreat and haven't knit with. So the other one I picked up, I liked this. Again, I think simply for the colours, wasn't it? Yeah, it was just because I loved the colours. I wanted a nice skein. This is Araucania, as I call it. Araucania. And that says Nubel. Nubel? It's a ny sound with that little thing on, I think. Extra fine merino wool and silk, hand dyed in Peru. Colour 24. Did I just say? Yes, merino. It's 75% extra fine merino wool and the 25% silk in it. Again, just because I love the colours, I thought I can try and make a little, maybe make a cowl. I don't know. I think what I would like to do is look for some patterns that I would like to do with them. You know, check that I've got the yardage. And as I put them in my stash, which I will, I'm starting to be very good with the new. You know, I'm trying to catch up, but the new yarn definitely gets is definitely going to get entered into my stash. Just checking time there. So I should really try to maybe put in at least one pattern that I might consider doing. You know, that will give me ideas of what to do. And she did not have any Malabrigo sock. I wish I could just waltz into a shop and buy Malabrigo sock. It's one of my favourites, but the lady did have some Malabrigo. She had worsted, and I bought a skein last year. I think she had something else which was worsted, Malabrigo, but I think it was single ply, and it was quite large or thick. Can't remember. But I found this one, and I just had to pick this up because I'm not quite sure if I've heard of it before. It's Malabrigo Finito. You may have heard of it. And, again, muted colours. I could have gone for dusky pink kinds and things, but I just got this. I just got one skein. And this, if you don't know, it's from the finest Uruguayan, as I say it, wool available in commercial volumes. It only comes to market once a year in limited quantities. So I had to get one. Never had it before, and again, might just think about a cowl or something obviously small. There's only 200 yards of it, and it's superfine merino wool. Arco Iris is the colourway. So I bought that. So those are my 3 purchases. And at the retreat, Jen's Yarn, as I said, I've showed you, I could have easily bought this, but thought I would send sock yarn. And then I bought this huge chunk of wonderful. This is DK. And let's see, this is Nectar Base, and it's 85% Polwarth wool and 15% silk, 730 yards. And I think it might have been Sam that suggested a shawl or something, which I don't really think I've ever done a shawl in DK. So I'll have to think about when I enter that into stash what I could possibly pick a pattern as well. So I'm looking around to see what else. Oh, the other stuff that I've got, I'm going to maybe show you in Girly Chatter when I tell you a little bit more about the retreat. The one thing, this came before I went away, so I haven't had a chance to show you, but I'm going to show you now. I got in on the Monster Mania Club with Dancing Dog Dye Works. Yay! It's the first time ever I've been in one of Michelle's clubs. So this is Waltz Worsted for the Monster Mania edition, and this is called Bento Box. I think she took a picture of the bento box and then designed, took that as the influence for the colours that came out in this, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Different shades of orange, different shades of green and brown, almost to a yellow orange, and some whites. I don't know what I'm going to knit. I think a lot of the worsted I have from Michelle, I need to get some toys on the needles because they make absolutely fabulous toys. One of my favourites is my Turtle, which was done out of her worsted, Waltz Worsted, in the Turtle colourway. So I really would like to get more toys on. So much I want to knit, so little time. Let's see. So yeah, that's all show and tell right now. I will show you the rest and some other goodies. No, I don't want to let you out, just wait. I'll show you some other goodies when I get into the end of the show, Girly Chatter. So before we get into that, let's chat about a couple of books. I've got to look around. Where have I put them? You don't need to go out, Bind. Okay. I might as well show you these knitting books as well, even though they were from the retreat. First up, what I'm reading. I did start this on the plane. I missed the book club meeting. That was last week when I went away. Oh, that's not where I'm at. I was like, that's not where I'm at. Hang on. I think I was round about episode. Chapter 13. So I'm enjoying this. It is The Language of Flowers by Vanessa Diffenbaugh, I want to say. And the story is about a young girl that was in the foster care system until she was 18. So it kind of goes, she left at 18, she gets her rite of passage kind of thing. She's an adult, she's on her own now, has to find a job, has to look after herself. So it kind of goes between that, and it keeps going backwards and forwards between, she goes back into the past and tells you, I think she's about 9 years old when she's going back into, the foster care system. She's telling you about her stay with one particular woman. And it's that woman that tells her a lot about the language of flowers. So she seems to know a lot of the meanings, what they mean. And she's kind of found a job right now in a florist. So I'm only just started. I'm not quite sure where it's going or what it's about. Now 18 and emancipated from the system with nowhere to go. She's called Victoria. She realises she has a gift for helping others through the flowers she chooses for them. An unexpected encounter with a mysterious stranger has her questioning what's been missing in her life. And I think we've met the stranger. It is, I think I've already met the stranger, and he knows about the language of flowers from the sounds of it. And when she's forced to confront a painful secret from her past, she must decide whether it's worth risking everything for a second chance at happiness. So we haven't got to that part yet, very early in the book, and she's just really getting started with a new job and telling you about her past. But I'm enjoying it. I think even though I won't be at a meeting to discuss it, I definitely will get through it. It's an enjoyable read. And this one I'm going to start at the same time because I can't wait to read it. And after telling you all about this book in, I think, the previous episode, I had a wonderful friend, my Jaffa Cake friend, send me this with the Jaffa Cakes and some other Cadbury's goodies. So I'm going to start reading this straight away. The Great Christmas Knit-Off. I don't care that it's not Christmas anymore. It does not matter at all. And this is from Alexander Brown. Where is it there? And I did say, when I was talking about this, I did jump to conclusions and say, oh, I think it's going to be difficult for me to get hold of these books. And I had a few of you PM me and say, you know, I can get it here, getting it there, which I probably would have done eventually. You know, I'd have looked a little bit more, and eventually I got to probably buy it, or it might have been next Christmas when I got round to doing that. But as I said, I'm not going to mention names, but you know who you are. My sweet friend sent this with some goodies, and I can't thank you enough. Wish I could give you a big, big hug, because it was waiting for me when I got back from the retreat. And I know Kay from the Bakery Bears read this recently, if you've read it as well. I'm trying to see if I can tell you quickly what it's about. Heartbroken after being jilted, Sybil has been saved from despair by her knitting obsession. But after perpetrating the cock-up of the century at work just weeks before Christmas, Sybil decides to make a hasty exit to the picturesque village of Tyndalldale. Oh, that sounds sweet, Tyndalldale. And there she discovers Hetty's House of Haberdasheries, blah, 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 blah. I'll not tell you. You can kind of check it out on Amazon. I'll tell you more about it once I get started on it as well. Okay, 2 more books, and just checking. I think I might stop this before it cuts off, and I'll go into these other 2 books that I got at the retreat. This was one of the door prizes. Oh, look at this. This was a pattern book I do not have. One of the door prizes. We actually got door prizes every night. Was it Thursday? No. Was it Thursday as well? It probably was. I've lost track now. But this was one. I won this. And I've heard of Kristen Knits before with her colours. Kristen Nicholas, sorry. And this book, it just makes me smile. I have to read through it. Look at the colours in that. It's just... I'm not going to do a review. Maybe I'll go into it a little more next week. Because this podcast is going to be long enough without. I'll show you 2 more. I'll show you a couple more pictures. Look, there's some really fun, colourful hats, and it's not just the cut. She actually does embellishments on. That's what makes these patterns really fun. Let's see if I can find one as an example. Let's see. Of course, now I'm not finding any. I want to say, like, once she's knit something, well, here's the gloves, for instance. Once she's knit something, then you can embroider, or she's got some stitches that she adds to the pattern. And here's some fingerless mitts. I'll move back so you can kind of see the whole thing. Isn't that fun? I love that. And they all look like they're done in worsted or even thicker weight yarn. Sorry, I'm trying to find something else. I'll go through it, perhaps, as I said, next week. And the last thing I'll show you. So here's a sweater, and you see how the flowers are added on after it, like a little embroidered kind of flower. Things like that. They're so colourful, and the socks look super, super fun. I haven't even started reading it, but it looks like there's going to be some fun information as well. So I was very happy to receive that. It looks fabulous. And one of the other girls, sweet Jen, she won the crochet book. But of course, because I'm a novice crocheter and I'm learning, Jen kindly gave me this prize. I think actually I did. I swapped a bag. I won a bag. So we swapped because, you know, Jen is a yarn dyer, she's not a sewer. So I was happy to swap, and she got a drawstring bag, and she gave me this book, which is Go Crochet. And I've got to sit down and start looking at this. It's a ring binder, So it lies flat. And I don't think I've got obviously not yet anyway, a book about crocheting. And so I'm going to go through this. Look, there's tons of little different squares. I didn't realise there was there's obviously hundreds and hundreds of patterns for circles and squares, or octagons, and then you make them all, you can put them all together, and there's a lovely blanket on the front. Thought she was wanting out, but she's snoring. And there's a lovely one on the back. So, Afghan Design Workbook it is. 50 motifs, 10 projects, one-of-a-kind results by Ellen Gormley. And again, if I remember in future, I might go through that and show you a little bit more too. Or definitely mark the pages where I can, show you some of the things that caught my eye. All right, so that's book talk. Are you still with me? I have no idea how long this has been, and I'm not showing everything, I don't think, but if there's things I realise that I've missed when I've finished this, I'll try to make notes and show you next week, in the next episode. Okay, so where shall I start with Girly Chatter, the retreat? Bindy snoring. I can't tell you how much fun this break is after Christmas. I went last year, for those who don't know me or the podcast, you've not watched that long, the first Sock Bunny retreat in Florida with Sock Bunny from the Sock Bunny's Knit and Fit podcast. Sock Bunny, Knit and Fit. It doesn't sound right now, yeah. Sock Bunny Knit and Fit podcast. Kimberly, who is Sock Bunny on Ravelry, organised the very first retreat in Florida last year. It's a very, very small retreat, very laid back, but very well organised. And I was lucky enough to go along last year. This year, it was the same time as February, and it comes at such a fabulous time. You don't have long to wait after Christmas, and after all of the the busyness of Christmas and the decorating I do in the house. If you've watched 5 Christmas trees, cooking, baking cookies, cleaning, and gifts and knitting, all of that kind of stuff, I'm ready for a break come the beginning of February. So I flew out last Wednesday, and it was snowing. And I'll say now that I'm hoping to just add lots of pictures at the end. If you stay with me, you'll see some photos. And you'll see what I was talking about. It snowed. I was sitting in the airport last Wednesday morning. It was snowing in just a little bit, but I was getting a bit nervous that the flight would be delayed or cancelled. I didn't think it would be cancelled, if I'm honest, because it was not much. It was not even an inch on the ground. And we were flying to somewhere a lot warmer. It's not like we were flying to Chicago or the East Coast. So there was a slight delay of half an hour, but it wasn't announced as a delay. We got on the plane, so should have took off at 10:20 in the morning, but we didn't take off till 11. It's just, took time. They had to de-ice the plane before we took off. But, safe travels all around for everyone, really. So I was thankful for that. Got there. The retreat starts on Thursday, but I got there Wednesday. Sam, who came all the way from England, had arrived the day before. On Tuesday, she flies in from London. Kimberly, who organises it, was already there, obviously, and then girl Dale, sweet Dale. Hello, Dale, if you're watching. And hello, Sam, and everybody else that was at the retreat. Dale was there too, and so those 4 people, me included, we all shared a room this year. Last year it was, we shared rooms just with one other person. This year, we stumbled upon a suite in the hotel that Sam had been moved to last year before she checked out. She had to change rooms, and they put her in this huge executive suite. 2 bedrooms, 2 king-size beds, a kitchen, sofa, TVs and all of that, and a huge bathroom. So when we saw that, we thought it might be a great idea to share the cost between 4. And so that's what we did. So what I loved about that was that I got to spend so much more time with Dale and Sam, because you didn't have to say good night and then close the door, at the end of the evening. We'd sit up and chat till after midnight, first few nights. So it was just fabulous. So Wednesday, I did not write down everything we did, but Thursday, the retreat started, and we have a conference room for the few days that we're there. We got lots of goodies in this fabulous bag, and it had pink tissue in it. I mean, it looked like Christmas all over again. I think Kimberly said she got these out of IKEA. I've never seen them before, but I think I'll have to keep a knitting project in there. It's so sturdy and wonderful. I did not keep everything else in here that I got at the retreat, but I do want to show you some of the things that was in the bag, and it might just be mainly this. I can't remember where I've put everything else. I know Sam took a picture on Instagram. I don't know if I can get hold of that. I didn't take a picture of everything in my bag before I took it out, but one of the best things that was in this bag has to be special colourways for the retreat, dyed by Kimberly. Isn't that gorgeous? They're both. No, this one's sparkly, and this one is not. But she dyed these especially for the retreat, and with the help of Dale, came up with the awesome colourways of Electric Florida Flamingo. And this is in her Sunshine Fingering weight. It's a merino, nylon, and stellina. And this one, which is gorgeous, Tampa Bay. Because that's where the retreat was. We were in Tampa Bay, Florida, when we go there. This is Miracle Fingering, and this is Sunshine Fingering. Because our Sunshine Fingering is obviously the sparkly kind. And I don't know where I'm going to knit with them, but again, I need to find something that when I put this in my stash, I have something in mind. I should really try to knit something for the retreat next year, because yes, I will be on the 3rd annual retreat next February. And if you've been thinking about trying to go, oh my gosh, you should try and plan. It's super fun. There was only 9 or 10 of us, I think, this year, and it's just the best size to just sit and talk with everyone. You don't have to. It's not so huge where you have to end up in groups, because if you go to one with 100, as much fun as it is and as it sounds, you can't probably spend that much time with everyone. So most of the people there, I think apart from a couple, were there last year. And so it's kind of like getting together with old friends again, meeting some new friends. Hi JD if you're watching. Hi Irene if you're watching. And I hope I haven't left anybody out now. Who have I not mentioned? I'm going to be worried I've lost. I think I've mentioned everyone now. Forgive me and Lisa, because she was there. That's Jen's mom. So hi to everyone. So where was I at? Yeah. So we sit. Obviously, it's a retreat. Most of the time, we will sit in the conference room. We'll knit, crochet, chat, squeal and scream when the bags and the yarn come out from the girls who are selling, the vendors. It's super exciting. That's one of my favourite times. And so, where is it? Yeah, I'll show you that, because I showed you what I bought from Jen. This is what I bought from Christine, our bag lady there at the retreat. Rainstorm Studios. I had to get a bag. I have 2 of her big see-through bags. I've got one sitting right here. This is one of the big, big ones. So I went for one. It doesn't have to be see-through, but I love the colours in it. And of course I love coffee. And on here, if you can't see, this is embroidered. It's like a coffee cup with all of the names on. It's super, super fun. And it's just a nice fabric inside. So I have to think about what to put in that. I haven't put anything in it yet. Maybe I will slip my other socks in now. And that was what I bought. And one of the door prizes, I've still got stuff to show you. Hold on. One of the door prizes, I think this was a door prize. I'm already forgetting. Goodness, I think it was because I didn't buy it. This was a door prize, and this is from Paper and Yarn. Kimberly, yes it was. I was going to say, tell me if I'm wrong, but it was. I think it was a door prize, and you know what? It wasn't. I didn't swap Jen the bag for the book. The book was just because she's a fabulous girl like that, and she knows how to crochet. She thought I would enjoy it. This is what I swapped. Jen won yarn, I won a bag. Jen dyes yarn, I sew bags. So we swapped. I think that's where this came from. Again, lovely and sparkly. And this is from Paper and Yarn. They're in Ohio. Paperandyarn.com. And this is superwash merino, 63%, 20% silk, 15% nylon, and a 2% silver, which is the stellina, I guess, the silvery bits. So that looks like a stormy sky. It doesn't have a name, I don't think. Oh, I could be wrong. It might. Doesn't look like it does, but I'm calling it stormy skies because it's kind of. Or stormy sea, that's where I'm wanting to say a stormy sea, because it's got the blue. It's like oceany blue when the sky is dark grey and that, and then it's got the greys. I would call that stormy seas. Not very often I can come up with a colour. Another thing I got, I have to show you these. This was a gift from Sam, and this is from the Knitting Goddess in England's. This is English yarn, and look what this is. It's 2 skeins to do socks. One is mainly purple and black, and one is black and purple. Isn't that fabulous? I'm so going to make socks with these. And I'm just going to probably do vanilla socks. That's very unusual for me. Normally, if they don't match, it kind of freaks me out. But I'm getting much, much better at things that does match because it's, same colourway. It's supposed to be like that. So I'm looking forward to getting something like that on the needles. And then this absolutely fabulous pattern, and the yarn was gifted from Kimberly. She released that week a hat pattern, colour work. I've just got a printed out copy. I could bring it up on the iPad, but I don't want to take forever. Look at that. Can you see that? It's just different colours, but the Florida Flamingo. It's Florida Memories, and it's Fair Isle hat. And she had one there. I don't know if I've got a picture of me. If I can get hold of one, I'll add it to the end. If I did not get hold of it, I'll try show you another time. But that is Kimberly's latest pattern. And look what she gave. She gave me the yarn. She gave the yarn to knit that one. And I did say on Instagram, I'm going to cast this on today because Florida Memories, making memories. I was in Florida at the time, and of course I did not get round to it. So that might have to get on the needles pretty quick while all the memories are still fresh. Okay, I think I'm looking around to see what else have I got to go through. Oh yes, before I do some favourite things, Kimberly was sweet. I fetched, as I said, in this bag, you haven't seen it, but Kimberly in her sock, bin of leftovers and things, she had quite a few skeins of Knit Picks palette. And I don't have that many skeins, but if you remember, if you've been watching a few weeks, I started the leftover cowl. It's a leftover cowl pattern. It's paid for on Ravelry, and it's all this colour work, and it's meant to be able to use up sock yarn. But a lot of my sock yarn is variegated, and I wanted plain colours, especially for backgrounds. And I decided to start using the Knit Picks palette that I have in my stash. And I've got this bag has got a few of them in. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 or 8 skeins. But because Kimberly had some, and I've got a few upstairs, she kindly let me bring some of these Knit Picks palette. I've got a few more upstairs that is going to just motivate me to keep on adding a little bit to this cowl every week, because I've got the different colours to do so. Now, once I'm finished, these can then go to somebody else. Don't you dare bark. These will get passed on to anyone else that might want them, either for something like that, for cowl, or some other colourway work, or blankets. So it's like, you know, just passing it forward. I'll not obviously be keeping hold of them. And one other thing, because even though I've got next week and I can tell you about stuff, I'll probably forget. Before I left, I went to the local yarn store and I bought this, something I haven't had before. I had the girl wind it, and my idea or my goal was to cast on something with this while I was at the retreat. It's Manos Fino, and it is 30% silk and 70% extra fine merino. It's really nice, dusky kind of soft pink, very dusky mauve pink, a little bit more washed out than you're seeing it, more like the top colour than the sides there. I was going to cast on the honey cowl, and I never got to it. So that, I'm not sure if I even put it in stash, but when it goes in stash, it will have the honey cowl next to it, and at some point, or sooner rather than later, hopefully we'll get that on the needles too. I think, let me see, I did put these things on Instagram, and I've got it here because I just grabbed everything. This was one of my treats before I went away. This awesome, fabulous Vera Bradley bag was a little treat to myself. I got it at the outlets before I left. We have local outlets. Vera Bradley was having a 50% off sale on most bags. So I got this half price, can you believe that? That was my kind of carry-on. It was fabulous. I love the colours in it. Treated myself to that. Let's see, what else? I was talking about the retreat still. We managed to get a little trip down to the beach. It was in a state park called Honeymoon Island. We went down there just for a few minutes because the sun was shining the whole time. Last year we had a little bit of rain, damp weather, very cool and almost chilly some days. This time it was fabulous. So I'll have some pictures to show you of, that we took around the beach. I did not bring with me, but I did pick up some shells. Maybe I'll try and remember to show you them next week. Not sure what I'll do with them. They might just go in a glass bowl or something in my craft room. So those are Florida memories too. Got to pick up some lovely shells. And just have a ton of fun. There's nothing like it. Being surrounded by people who love what you love. I can't explain it. It makes me giddy with happiness, honestly, it does. It's my hair doing. And I would love to try and think about going to other retreats. My plan, I'm looking way, way ahead. It's not that far ahead. My plan is to travel a little bit more on my own for retreats for knitting, because I know hubby would not have any problem with that, but I want to wait until mainly Kristen leaves for college or is 18. She might go to college here, but when she's 18, I'm going to indulge myself and actually go on a couple of more retreats a year. In a couple of years' time, she'll be 16. She was 15 this year, at the end of this year. But in 2016, I'm thinking of trying to do Rhinebeck. And a few of us have been talking about it. You know who you are if you've been talking about it. That might be something to look forward to or plan. It's always fun planning, but I don't know. What else can I tell you about it? If there's things I didn't cover, then ask me. I'm trying to think what else. This time the hotel provided lunch for 2 days, Friday and Saturday. It was included in the price. So we got a huge big tray of sandwiches, And what do you call it? A bit like Subways, you know, like those 6-inch subs but cut in half, and what looked like a brioche roll is, you know, meats and cheese and salads and tomatoes and lettuce and all of that. Huge big tray. And also the first day was like a big bowl of pasta salad. Second day, Saturday, was a big bowl of potato salad. It had pickles. And it was just fun because then it was just 2 less times that you had to think about what shall we eat. In the evening, a lot of us, we all went together usually. We either ordered in. One night we ordered Indian food in. I'm trying to think what else did we order something else in? The very first night we went up to, you know, very in the same parking lot almost, or in the same little strip mall. We went to the Thai restaurant, which was one of my favourites. Trying to think what else. I did not keep a diary of what we did each day. But anyway, if there's something I've missed and you want to know about it, or perhaps you're thinking about going next year and there's questions you have, just shoot me a PM or ask in the group. Then everyone will see your question or see my answer. You can do that. And I think last, I've got a few favourite things. Or, as Tracy likes to call them, I thought this came to mind when I was looking at these, or I'm going to show you these. Tracy from T Plays Nice podcast. She has a little section called I Need This in My Life. And I have to say, I found a couple of things this week that I need in my life that I actually have in my life now. And I found one thing today. It's got nothing to do with the retreat, but I'll have to bring it up on, actually 2 things. I'll bring it up on the iPad in a second and show you there's 2 other things I need in my life right now. So the first, Tervis. Yes. If you've never heard of a Tervis, it's, well, I'll show you them because they're right here. Hold on. I and quite a few others at the retreat were what we would like to call a Tervis virgin. We'd never used Tervis. I didn't know why you would need a Tervis. Heard of them many, many times. And, you know, I just thought, why? Why do you need this? Because there's lots of other, as you can see, insulated cups out there that keep your drink hot or cold kind of thing. And I'll rephrase that. There's lots of other cheap insulated cups that not really insulate your drink. So I was the door to the, well, how do you say it? A whole new world opened up to me when I gave in and said, I will try a Tervis. This is my first one. This is why I'm showing you. This I use for my coffee. And I brought, I like the little pattern. This was bought in Publix, of all places. We were told that Bed Bath & Beyond have a good selection, but before we got to Bed Bath & Beyond, we were in the grocery store, Publix, which I don't have in Colorado here, and they had some of these. And they had bigger ones, I think, and water ones, but this is my coffee one. I love it. So I've been trying that, and then, of course, this morning I had to use my very colourful Nevada cup. This, which I just had to have a sip there because I am getting quite dry. This is my big, big cold water or lemon water. I often have lemon water and it always looks murky. This is what I got. I picked it. This was bought, and the people that went to Bed Bath & Beyond got it, and then I paid them when they got back because I didn't go on that little outing. So I picked this one with the really pretty flowers. It's absolutely awesome. And this is a specific straw for the Tervis. It keeps it super cold. I'm going to be using this all day, every day for water. And the one I do not have is a water bottle that I bought for Kiki. She likes really cold water, and she's not had an insulated, believe it or not, an insulated cup or bottle to take to school. The one she has is just a plain cup with a straw. It had her initial on. I think we got it from Justice or something. So I bought her that, and I did a little, oops, battery's getting low, so I need to hurry up. I did a little experiment, and I put ice in at 9 o'clock in the morning, and 6 hours later, longer than 6 hours later, there was still ice in that cup. I didn't put water in it, so the ice had melted, but there was still ice, this much ice in the bottom. So I'm highly recommending Tervis if you want a big, treat yourself. They have a website, tervis.com. You'll see all of their different designs and patterns on them. And I definitely know Bed Bath & Beyond carry them. And if you have a Publix, check your Publix. They might be there. And I'm not seeing them in Target or Walmart or anything like that. And before I go, see if I can get these quickly because the battery's about to die, but I'm hoping I don't have to plug it in right now. Two things I saw, and I can, oops, not that. I'll go straight to my Instagram page to show you. And I'm not on my Instagram page. Hold on. Cancel. Okay, go to my, oh my goodness, I want to do this fast. I found this, somebody posted this on their Instagram yesterday, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to have this too. This is a bottle of wine. Yarn Bomb wine. It's a Shiraz, and it's an Australian wine. And I just saw this picture yesterday, so I had to look for it. I don't know if we can get this wine in America. I know people have got it in Australia because that's where I saw it posted. Somebody was gifted it. And there is a YouTube video that shows you, they actually had a tree this shape on the, I think it was in the vineyard, and they wine bombed it, the yarn bombed it. They put this on. It shows you the video of them dressing this up. So I'm on a mission. I want to try and find this bottle of wine. And the other thing I needed in my life, oh my gosh, where's it gone? Where's it gone? Oh, I want it. I don't know if I can find the picture. I saw a picture this morning of some planners. Let me see if I can scroll through and I'll get it quickly. Or this might go off. Here it is. No, that is not it. I thought that was it. I saw somebody, there's a giveaway going on, and here it is. I don't know how to normally do planners and stuff, but there is a giveaway for some planners on Instagram, and you can check out the Planner Society. Yes. Okay, I had to charge up a little bit there, but let me get this finished and hopefully edited and posted today. The last thing I was talking about, planners. I saw this on somebody's Instagram feed this morning, and now I'm all tizzy and I want to try and find something like it. Her post led me to this one, the Planner Society, and she has a website, and I'm just like, ooh, I'm oohing and ahhing over all of these things. I think she does artwork, but there's a giveaway right now, which is how I saw it, because she's given away, I guess, 4 of these, and I'm confused because I'm not sure if the planner is just plain and she does the inserts herself, or which I'm thinking that's how it works. But I want to find the planners. I'm going to have to do a bit of research and see what her blog says, because I think she buys them online somewhere. And then I think she adds other stickers and stuff that she buys online. And then she also, I think, does her own artwork and adds them. But it just looks so pretty. I want something like that. And I want to try and get organised, of course. No, this was just 2 weeks ago. These look so nice. And so I need to find out where she got them. And she says, they have arrived, my first planners. It's been 15 years since I've used one, and I can't wait to fill these with goodness and organisation. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be looking into today. And I need to research and see whether or not where she buys the rest of the stuff, because I like pretty things, helps me to get motivated. I don't normally retweet or retweet. I don't even use Twitter. I don't normally repost on Instagram for giveaways. I just don't know how to do it, and I don't spend time trying to figure it out. But she just adds a lot of to-do lists. I think she must just get pretty sticker packs and things like that. If you've got anything like this, I mean, this is not really a diary. This is as I said, a planner where you add to-do lists, things you want to get done. These ones are so pretty, look at that. You know, as usual, it's just one of those things. I want to start getting organised. Because I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning, I want to feel like I've accomplished a lot. Even by 3 o'clock, because hubby's home by then. And that would really free up the afternoon and the evening to either do knitting or sewing if I've accomplished a lot of stuff, you know, before that time. Kiki gets home at 3:30, so I want to be very productive, but I have to work on it and practice because I'm not really good at it, actually. So, but anyway, I think that's everything for this week, guys. It seemed like it was a ton of stuff. So I'm not sure how long this is. If you need to watch it in 2 parts, by all means do so. There's 2 weeks worth of chatting and waffling on, so, you know, split it into 2 episodes. The sun is out. It's a beautiful blue sky now, and the snow is melting. And I'm going to get on and do some housework. And I'll get this uploaded today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. I hope you've enjoyed sitting down with me today, and I hope you come back next week and join me in my knitting den. Bye, guys.